This customer's unloading this LML Duramax because it's in some serious need for help. He tried to remove the turbo and had some major issues. We're gonna unload it, pop the hood, and ask him what's going on. Brandon's saying you got a diagnosis from a shop saying that the turbo was bad.
The turbo was never bad.
Okay.
But I kept throwing codes for the different solenoids or sensors.
Yeah.
So really, for me, it was kind of like, okay, should we do the refresh now or buy a new truck? Well, the cost of a new truck is pretty high. So here I am trying to do a turbo and you know, some other random parts, fuel pump, glow plugs, all of the above, and got to a point where we couldn't do it. So
do you mind if we pop the hood?
Yeah,
and
let's
take
do it.
a look at it. So how many miles roughly does the truck have on it?
It's got about 175,000 miles on it.
It's a beautiful, really clean truck. Okay, so you made some good progress.
We got most of the EGR off, you know, got all the way down to where we could get to the fuel pump, and we got the downpipe off, but that's where we got stuck.
Yeah.
We just didn't have the right tools to get in there, and I don't have a lift, so we couldn't drop the transmission. Here we are.
Yeah, internet, sympathize with this guy. This is the worst job besides an engine or something on these Duramaxes, especially the LML in this generation, is a jigsaw puzzle.
Yeah.
That is a nightmare. And Brandon and the mechanic he works with, they are like Duramax gurus.
It's one of the reasons I'm here.
Yes.
Yep.
So you're in good hands. We'll
Excellent.
definitely take care of it.
Yeah.
It looks like you've kept the bolts and stuff pretty organized on some of the things. Where's the rest of some of the stuff that was taken off?
So I've got some in the wheel well of the front seat here, the cab,
Okay.
and then there's some stuff in the bed of the truck. Fuel pump, turbo, and then I was like spending money for parts, so thought I might increase the size of the.
Yeah, the Banks boost tubes are fantastic upgrades.
The other part that I would really be interested in is when you guys pull the CP4 out, what you find, right? Because I've had a lift pump on it, not since brand new, but fairly early on. I want to say 60,000 miles or so.
Good.
And I've never had any fuel problems. This has been a solid truck, right? So which is why I kind of like I'm here doing what I'm doing because I want it to continue to be a solid truck.
A few moments later.
Dylan, are you the lucky guy getting stuck with somebody brought their truck in a box?
Yeah, I'm the lucky guy that gets to piece the puzzle back together.
Well, you could probably do these puzzles blindfolded, so
Yeah.
I don't think it's that bad. But this is like, people that work on Duramaxes, they don't realize this is the toughest diesel there is to work on.
Yeah.
I mean, am I right?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, I think there's no doubt about it. I think the Duramax is by far the toughest diesel to get around under the hood on.
Yeah, the newer L5Ps got better, but before that, there's just a lot to them.
There's a lot, man.
You got to get the layers right. And,
Exactly. If your harness doesn't go in right, your lines don't go in right, you know, you either put that puzzle together correctly or you got to tear half of it back apart.
Yeah.
It's really a mother. He tried to do his turbo because he thought he wasn't creating boost, right?
He's been fighting some boost pressure codes,
Uh-huh.
and he's taken it to a couple other shops. They did a few sensors and tried some other things and ended up at needing a turbo. That's what they decided.
That's what they decided. But I mean, this thing, he towed this in here. This thing was not.
Yeah, so
totally
then he decided he would do the turbo himself. So he got it in his driveway or his garage or whatever, started tearing it apart, and then just realized, you know what, I'm in over my head. I better take this to someone more skills than I got. So
I'm not laughing because it's funny. I'm actually laughing because it's like it's a scary situation, man. This is not a do-it-yourselfer job for your first time, I can tell you that. Condition, cause, correction, confirm. Condition, no boost, right? Do we even get any like codes on the ticket or anything like that?
I don't think so. Yeah.
As the surgeon, I would always be concerned with, you know, getting a patient that I couldn't even like evaluate before I'm like looking at them and they're cut open. You know what I mean? That always that worries me.
Yeah, we're just gonna have to let this customer know, you know, we're just going off of your diagnosis. We'll get this all back together, and then
if there's an issue, here's what would be super terrible. if it ends up, we get the turbo off and it doesn't need a turbo and he's got like an up pipe that's leaking and that's why he didn't have any boost, dude.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
let me know if you find anything suspect, okay?
Yeah, definitely.
Okay.
There was one other thing too. He was going to replace his CP4 pump while he was here.
Oh, good.
But he was just going to put another CP4 pump in. So we advised him, that's not, worth a good use of your money. So
No.
Yeah, so we're just going to do a CP3 conversion. Yeah,
Cool.
so I'm going to pull the cab off. We'll get the turbo out, do a CP3 conversion, get it back together, and see where we're at from there.
Okay, let's also take a real good microscopic look at his fuel, that pump.
Yeah.
Because again, his complaint was no power.
Yeah.
And a CP4 will cause that, a turbo will cause that, an exhaust leak will cause that. I mean, all kinds of things will cause that on a diesel. So let's make sure we go in with our eyes like wide open.
Yeah.
Compressor's in the right spot, it's all coming up?
Yep, compressor's all going up, so.
Okay.
Gotta
Got
watch.
the e-brake cable and all that crap out of there?
Yep.
Okay. You want to take it up a little bit?
Yep.
Does it look good?
Yep.
If he had any exhaust leaks around here, doesn't look like it. So he probably wasn't losing pressure because I don't see any leaks on any of this. You look for, what we're looking for here is black exhaust.
Turbo still spins, doesn't have excessive play.
Did you pull one of the exhaust nuts off of that up pipe? Because there's one missing.
No.
Go look at it. Maybe he pulled it out, but to see it?
Yep, that bolt right there.
Yeah, you didn't pull that out?
No.
Maybe he did.
Yeah, he might have.
Because
you can see he pulled one of these turbo mounting bolts out too down there.
I don't see any exhaust leaks, so that's what I was wondering. These always make me nervous, man.
Yeah.
I never heard the motor run.
The next day.
Okay, so I'm coming back midway through this, really at the end of our favorite install of a CP3 conversion. BD Diesel, we've tested out a few different brands and styles. For bang for your buck, BD is turning out to be our favorite CP3 conversion. As far as the fitment, so we'll talk a little bit about that, but the quality, time after time, we have the best luck with this BD CP3 conversion. Rock and roll. Turbo time. Or I guess intake manifold cleaning time. Yeah.
We'll go clean this off and I'll show you how good it looks after I'm done. All right, I just finished up in the Aqua Blast machine. Let's open it up and see how good of a job it did. Yeah, look at that. No soot left in there at all. It just does an amazing job at cleaning up that soot, and really love doing that anytime I have an intake manifold off, cleaning it out and getting rid of all that soot buildup. So here's all the bolts that customer saved in a box for us that go into this. Hopefully they're all here. So I'm just gonna kind of sort them out by size, and I know where some bolts go just by experience, but like those are the turbo oil lines, but we got new one of those. These go to the Y bridge, which I'm needing right now. So one thing that's important when doing the CP3 conversion, whether it's on a Duramax or a Power Stroke or any vehicle, it's always really good to pull this quantity valve and inspect it for metal and look down inside the bore as well. that it goes into, and just make sure you don't see metal filings. But this one looked really clean. Luckily for this customer, he's doing the conversion in time, so we aren't gonna have to worry about that. All right, we got this Duramax put all back together. As you can see, we got EGR coolers on, intake manifold on. Luckily, the customer did a good job with all of his bolts, and almost every single bolt was there except for this one for the alternator, so we'll just have to match one up. But crossing my fingers, and I'm hoping that this truck's gonna start and run good, and that the turbo was the issue. So we'll find out here shortly whether that's the issue or not.
A little longer than a few minutes later.
So, this is the one that makes me nervous.
Yeah.
Did you find anything else that I should be nervous about?
I haven't yet.
Okay.
We haven't tore down the old turbo either, so. I got it all back together, got all my bolts in, and.
Are we doing a oil change on this thing? Here's a motor before we put a cab back down on it that I know nothing about because it came in here not running, tore down by the customer. And I'd really like to get a look at that oil filter just to make me. I didn't sleep good last night.
Yeah.
It ain't got nothing to do with this motor, but I mean, I don't want to sleep good, not good tonight because of this motor.
Yeah.
Boy, it doesn't look too carbon up to me, dude. That thing don't
Looks
look.
like they're all moving.
Yeah, it doesn't look bad at all. This is exactly what I was worried about. These do, everybody, is these changes the rate how much pressure they build up in the turbo by this oil pressure valve. This thing just on. Yeah, I don't know, man. So I don't find anything wrong with the turbo. You can tell by the look on my face, I'm a little worried that this customer is not going to be satisfied for his lack of power. But we just put another stock turbo on it too, didn't we?
Yeah.
He supplied it, right?
He supplied his own turbo.
That looks pretty good. I mean, you can see light piece of dirt has gone through it here, but it's nothing compared to what you usually see when a CP4 goes bad. And the piston down there, let's just take a look real quick since we're already done. Let's just pull the other one out. Here it is. This is the problem with this pump. Any contamination in it starts to wear it out, and this roller will stick. See, it floats real nice in there, but if you get dirt in there, it'll cause it to stick in its roller housing. And what'll happen is, if that thing starts to get a little stuck in there, this thing will flip. See, this thing can actually turn, 360 degrees. The only thing that keeps it aligned is this high spring pressure from this pump plunger on there. But that's when this thing gets contamination and it causes this thing to stick, and this thing will flip and it'll go ant like that, and then all of a sudden your fail rate it's chewing it away like really fast. So that's how they fail.
All right, we're at a moment of truth. Really a tipping point that makes me super nervous on any job like this is, did is the issue fixed? I wouldn't say did we fix the issue, because we did what the customer wanted, but was his original concern fixed? Have no freaking idea. That's why I'm nervous. On a job like this, the vehicle came in basically halfway tore apart. Now we've put it back together as the customer wanted, and does that go towards fixing the symptom or the reason that he started this project all? Have no freaking idea. So we're gonna change the oil in it, put some coolant in it, pressure test it, do all that stuff, and fire it up and see. I'm praying. I'm praying that we're okay. I surprised Dylan here, and I've kind of kept this under wraps because me and my dad have been working on this. We've partnered with a company that makes the best oil that we've used. And we've got it in 1540, 020, 540, 530, 1040. We've got diesel and gas oil. And then Dylan, we'll have you put on the PPE oil filter as well, because it's just way better than the factory one.
Yeah.
I'll get you some more 1540, but this is on our website, everybody. If you want a premium oil, stuff that mechanics use, we've got it on our website. All different weights, viscosities, and stuff like that. So I'll go get you a few more gallons here, Dylan, so you can rock and roll on this. And then I'm hoping that this thing is okay, dude.
Me too.
Yeah,
we're getting to the bottom end here, but looks like we might be having a potential issue. So.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I got the cooling system all together, and I went to pull a vacuum to fill it up, and then my vacuum was bleeding off. So I'm pressure testing it now to see where it's leaking at. And,
okay.
Yeah.
So you put some coolant in it and pressure testing
so I
it.
put some coolant in it, now I'm pressure testing it, and I got to pinpoint exactly where the leak's coming from. So we can see if it was something I did or if it's just something that was pre-existing on the truck. Fingers crossed it's not a bigger issue. So
I hope it's not something you did, but I appreciate you always looking to yourself. But
and who knows if he took something off that I just didn't see or catch or whatever.
Right.
So, you know, it's just one of those things where you just got to figure it out and find it. So
yeah. Oh, holy cow.
Yeah, look at that difference. Easily twice as big.
Jeez.
It's got a funky looking drain plug on here. All right, so I've got the truck all back together and going to fill up the cooling system. And of course we want to pressure test it to make sure that all of our hoses we had disconnected and everything is sealed up tight so we don't have any cooling system issues. So I've got the pressure tester hooked up, and we have found that I have a slow coolant leak. I've pressurized the cooling system up to 16 psi, and then I shut it off and then I let it sit, and it just slowly loses pressure. Probably lose about 1 psi a minute. So we definitely got a leak somewhere. So now I got to pinpoint where that leak is coming from. Of course, first I'm going to look at the turbo and make sure that I got all my connections there good. And then if it's not any of those connections, then we'll have to figure out where exactly that leak's coming from so we can get the truck fixed properly. All right, so you can see right here, this is one of the coolant lines to the turbo, and it looks like it is not leaking at this time. So there's one other one to look at right down here. It's that other bolt. It's a banjo bolt that feeds into the turbo. See if I can get in there a little better. You can see, just looking for dripping. See if we can get around to the back side of that bolt. You can see here, this is that other line. We don't have any coolant coming from there. And there's only 2 coolant lines that come to the turbo, just a feed and a return. And neither one of those are leaking. So now we got to start pinpointing where this leak's coming from. I'm gonna just take a peek down the other side of the turbo here, make sure don't have like an EGR cooler leaking. That's the hard part when you get these things all back together. There's coolant hoses down in the valley. There's just, you know, coolant flows to a lot of places, so you got to be able to get eyes in there and find out where they're leaking from. Oh. Well, looks like I missed a clamp to the EGR cooler. So I'll have to get in there, and you can see the clamp back there goes to this hose. So you can see right there the clamp that I missed going to the EGR cooler. So we'll get that put on and pressure test it and see if we got a leak. Let's see what we get now.
Holden?
We'll see. It was a slow leak. I think we still got a leak though.
Do you?
Yeah.
Oh, it's slowly dropping.
Yeah. I'm just trying to pinpoint where it's coming from.
You can almost hear.
Yeah, I could like hear something over there, but I looked at the turbo fittings and they're not leaking. I'm trying to think what else is down there that's coolant. So it's mainly just fuel lines. I want to see here.
Dude, I hear that my fears might be realized.
Yeah, they might be coming to fruition here on this truck.
What is the problem?
Well, I've got it all back together, pressure tested the cooling system, and noticed I was losing pressure.
Oh no, how much? How much?
So I lose about a PSI a minute.
Okay.
And so,
Is that what this is?
and you see here on the ground, it's been dripping some coolant.
And it's not our work?
Not our work. So I made sure I went in with the bore scope. You know, I bore scoped all around the valley, made sure the banjo bolts on the turbo weren't
Right.
leaking and they're dry. You know, I did miss a clamp on one hose, so I got that clamp on. You know,
Cool.
pressure tested it again. We're still getting the pressure loss, and it's leaking from the cylinder head gasket on this right
No way.
side. Yeah, it's got an external leak.
Oh jeez.
Yeah.
I swear, it's like I got spider sense, man. It's like every time one of the, when we get a car truck towed in, that a guy's ripped it apart and is like, just do this. I'm like going, oh no.
Yeah.
So it's losing a PSI?
Yeah,
every
PSI
minute?
a minute. Yep.
Oh yeah,
You can
look,
see it dripping.
I can feel, it's almost dripped on my head here.
Yeah. But
Right.
you looked on that cylinder head
Right
in
on
that
that
corner.
cylinder head. Oh jeez.
I
Okay.
made sure I got the bore scope up there, because I want to make sure nothing's leaking out of the valley and just coming down right there and pooling up. But it's all dry up there in the valley,
So it's not running down from another
so it's
spot.
not So that's that's the highest point of the leak.
All right,
so.
here's what I want to do. So truck, you got it up and running?
Yeah, we can start
Okay.
it up now.
Let's do this because we don't even know how it drives.
Yeah.
So let's take it on a test drive. Let's put hopefully it won't overheat. It's
Yeah.
not that bad of a head gasket leak. Let's take it on a test drive. Let's put 20-30 miles on it. Keep an eye on our data. Have our ready code set. I want to know what else is going on because
Yeah.
this no power thing didn't find a problem in the turbo. Didn't find a problem in the high pressure in a CP4 pump.
Yeah.
But I mean, replacing it with a CP3 is good, mate. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's good insurance. And then let's see what his problem is with his truck.
Yeah.
Jeez.
Get a good diagnostic of what really is going on
Yeah.
and what's the issues here. Of course, now we see the head gasket. But
Yeah, let's everybody pay close attention here. If you're going to write a prescription, folks, you better make sure it's accurate, because if it's not, it's going to be malpractice. And malpractice in our industry, it won't kill a patient, but it's sure going to whack your wallet. You know, let's do this, White. Let's leave the cap off of it while we start it.
Okay.
So let's see if we get, you know, puffing out of the.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's good. That's good. Let's you go crank on it. Let me listen.
right.
Let me listen to it. Hey, grab me you got a rubber band?
I don't got a rubber band. The one I had broke, but we can zip tie it.
Rev it up. No, let it run, let it run, let it run. Come here. I mean, if you want to call it luck, I think the customer's lucky that he probably doesn't have a blown head gasket to a combustion chamber.
Yeah.
We didn't have any milk in the oil, so we don't have coolant to an oil galley,
Yeah.
but he's going to have an external leak. So let's take it on a test drive, kind of do what we thought. Let's put 20, 30 miles on it.
Yeah. Just see how the new turbo
See
does.
how everything
Yeah.
works, and then we'll have to give him the bad news that he's got an external head gasket leaking.
Yeah.
And it's a Duramax, and I'm under the impression that when you have a cast iron block and aluminum head, you're going to have a lot more scuffing on that head gasket because the two dissimilar metals expand and contract at different rates.
Rates, yeah.
And that causes scrubbing on a head gasket.
Yeah.
It's not good. So shut it down. Let's go for a drive.
Soon after.
Guys, I can't stress it enough. We don't do it enough here, but I continue to say let's do it and do it and do it. Look to yourself when you have a problem. I was so ready to condemn that I had a bad head gasket on this. In fact, I was having trauma over it, as you see in the video. But then upon further inspection, talking to Dylan, we took a bore scope and we found that we were getting antifreeze leaking from a banjo bolt fitting where we'd put on that turbo, and it was leaking in the valley and then running down along the side of the head and showing as a head gasket. We fixed that leak, repressure tested it, doesn't seep down anything, and we no longer have a leak. So guys, sometimes we're really quick, including us, to jump the gun and say, hey, this is a problem, and it wasn't. I'm so relieved. Call the customer and let him know that it was our fault and that we had a banjo bolt fitting that was leaking, and I'm thrilled. He's thrilled. Thank goodness this didn't turn into the can of worms or a bag of snakes like I thought it was going to be, and it runs great. This is the sigh of relief. I'm glad that we're able to get this done for the guy. Again, when a vehicle gets towed into you and it's half tore down and people want you to replace stuff, you still need to be cautious about it. But don't be so quick to jump the gun when you think it's another problem, and it really could be just your problem.